Greetings once again. It's time for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you, the faithful reader, a book that I very highly recommend. This time out, the book is The RULEBREAKER, The Life and Times of Barbara Walters by Susan Page. This is published by Simon & Schuster, and it retails for $40.99. Barbara Walters really needs no introduction. She had been a staple of television since actually close to around the 1960s. And people have sort of lampooned her, like we all remember Gilda Radner. When Saturday Night Live was first beginning in the 70s, she was making fun of Barbara Walters, calling her, saying, "I am Barbara Wawa." And it was a big joke. Other comedians did the same thing. But Barbara Walters obviously had the last laugh, because she had quite the distinguished career, and in this book we find some very interesting things about her life. Now, Barbara Walters did release her own autobiography several years ago, and some of the same ground is covered. But Susan Page also uncovers a lot of new information about Barbara Walters, and we get to appreciate her even more. She didn't have a really easy life. She grew up with a special needs sister, and Barbara Walters always vowed to take care of her little sister. And her little sister worshipped, Barbara Walters very much. Now, her father, Lou Walters, was sort of a dance hall entrepreneur. He had a big dance hall / restaurant in New York called the Latin Quarter, and it was the must-go-to place at the time. But unfortunately, Lou Walters had other issues, and one of them was gambling. He gambled away pretty well most of the fortune, and the Latin Quarter really went into bankruptcy. And he was so distraught about it that he took handfuls of sleeping pills because he wanted to die. Now, he did live, but he was quite the force to be reckoned with. In New York, he was powerful, but the mighty had fallen. Now, Barbara Walters adopted a daughter, and the daughter had issues when she was a teen and into her 20s. She had a drug addiction problem, but Barbara Walters always stood by her side. She wanted to make sure she had rehab. So family-wise, it's been most interesting, but career-wise, Barbara Walters has really done so much for women. And a lot of women who got into the broadcasting business said Barbara Walters was her inspiration. And within the pages of this book, Susan Page tells us all the things that Barbara Walters did go through, including on the Today Show. When she first started, she was a script writer there. And then she became an on-page person. Or on television person, not page, but she was also given what could be considered fluff pieces, not really hard journalism, hard news. She was doing flower shows or whatever, or things like that. But as time progressed, people recognized her talents, and the men that she sat side by side giving the news, they resented her. And when it came to interviewing famous people, they wanted to ask the hard questions first. And then, Barbara Walters could ask, the minor questions like sloppy seconds. But she won out. She advanced. And it was when The View was created. She was the person, the brainchild behind the television show on ABC called The View that has been on, I think, 23 years. And when it began, people said, "Oh, it's just women sitting around a table talking about nothing." Well, it became a must-watch TV, controversial at times. But during her career, Barbara Walters has been controversial. She's talked to some of the world's most famous people, Fidel Castro, Anwar Sadat, and so many more. And she's asked the tough questions, and she's also had a lot of TV specials where she's asked tough questions that have made the famous people cry as well, too. So if you're looking for a book about Barbara Walters, it really is a very highly recommended book because it is so well written, so informative, And throughout the almost 450 pages, we learn a lot more about the life of the late Barbara Walters. So this is the book I very highly recommend to you today. And if you do purchase it, please let me know if you do agree with my review. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy it. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Until we meet again with another great book, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.